Alright, what's good with y'all niggas, bruh? It's Don Coolio coming at y'all with another video. And this video, I kind of just wanted to get on here and talk to y'all about the sad state of just anime games in general, bro. So I told y'all in my last video that I've been on here, I've been playing some Storm, so I wanted to get on here and show y'all some Storm, bro. Now, me personally, I actually enjoy Storm Connections. I enjoy Sparking Zero too, you know, in its good times, but I can't lie, I gotta be real, bro. I feel as though the bad anime game started with Storm Connections. I feel like Storm Connections was really like when people started realizing that they was just BSing, bro. Like Storm Connections was I think that was like literally one of the first anime games to drop, and it didn't have a way to invite your friends to a player match or any way to play with your friends. The only thing it had was a ranked and quick match or casual match. And on top of that, they didn't have a rage quit penalty, right? Now, Storm 4, I think that Storm 4 released without a few things too, but I don't think it was as long before you got it. I forget why, like, it wasn't as bad with Storm 4, right? But like I said, Storm Connections released with a lot of garbage in it. Like they had, They had armored jutsu. I don't know why, like when you did jutsu at times, like bro, you literally would get super armor. I don't know who idea that was, but that's a L. One of the other things a lot of people had a problem with, me personally, I don't really have a problem with it, but it's the fact that you can pick people up off the ground whenever you knock them on the ground with their jutsu. A lot of people didn't like that. A lot of people had a problem with that. I mean, it's the same thing that you do on Sparking Zero. You can hit people with stuff while they on the ground too, and it's very goofy in my opinion. But yeah, like I said, I enjoy Storm Connections. After this video, I want y'all to let me know down in the comment section, do y'all want some more Storm gameplay? Because I can give y'all some Storm gameplay, you feel me? I enjoy Storm probably right now. I'm enjoying Storm a lot more than Sparking Zero. I'm enjoying Storm Connections more than Sparking Zero. I would go back to Storm 4, but I do not feel like, I ain't gonna lie, one thing I will say about Storm Connections is the online, at least on PS5, is way, way better than Storm 4. Like, it's way smoother, at least. Like, it feels more optimized, if you will. You feel me? But yeah, like I said, if y'all want me to play some more Storm, let me know down in the comment section. But we here to talk about the sad state of gaming for anime games, right? So like I said, it started off with Storm Connections. That game came out in a terrible state. You know, it came out in a terrible state. And I also wanted to talk to y'all about something, you know, specifically for the what's his name? President Rose is out there, specifically for the 6 worlds out there. No offense to them. I don't have no problems with either of y'all. I'm just mentioning y'all because y'all was two of the people that said something about this, and I said something about it as well. But one thing, y'all said that the Bleach community was like tripping because there was no way that it could possibly do better than any Naruto game, right? Well, what if I was to tell you that Bleach game peaked higher than Storm Connections, right? What if I told you that? See, Bleach peaked with almost 7,000 people, right? Bleach peaked with almost 7,000 people. So when the game first dropped, this is on Steam numbers, right? So it's gonna be probably a little bit more on like for consoles and stuff. It peaked at almost 6,700, right? Now, since Naruto is such a more popular anime, which it is, I'm not gonna lie, you would think that Storm Connections would have peaked way higher than that, right? Well, what if I told you that it didn't? Storm Connections peaked at basically 4,000, 3,800, right? 3,900. We're going to say 3,900. So this is a Naruto game, right? Now, I can understand a lot of people not being on there because it's trash, but it should have peaked way higher than that, right? It should have peaked way higher than Bleach, you know, based off of what everybody was saying. But that's just not true. Now, I know a lot of people gonna be like, well, let's compare it to the better, let's compare it to the real last great Naruto game, right? So let's compare it to Storm 4. So Storm 4 basically peaked at almost 8,500, right? Now this is Storm 4, bro. This is basically one of the best Naruto games ever created. A lot of people consider this the best Naruto game ever created, right? So this Bleach game where people haven't had a Bleach game for like 15 years, if I'm not mistaken, those people said. And this is the first one that they made, and it's on PS5 and PS4, and it peaked at basically 7,000, right? That's good, bro. I ain't gonna lie. People was like President Rose and other, well, I know President Rose, he was like, bro, y'all are excited about 6,000, 7,000 people playing the game at peaking at that. Bro, Sparking Zero peaked at 100K. Yeah, Sparking Zero peaked at 100K, but look how many people still playing it. Sparking Zero peaked at 100K because everybody was waiting for that Tenkaichi 4. And that was the most advertised anime game ever, bro. Ever. That's the most advertised anime game ever, right? Now, I will admit, it did do crazy. As it did peak crazy. But I mean, the numbers that they getting right now are not too far off from Bleach. I mean, Bleach has more people on there right now. If I'm being real, Bleach has like a significant amount of people more than Sparking Zero on there right now playing. Like if I went and look, like Bleach has like 2,000 people. If I go look at Sparking Zero, it's probably gonna be like a little bit under 1,000 or a little bit over 1,000, bro. It's gonna be one of them numbers, right? And that's insane for a game like Sparking Zero. Sparking Zero should still have at least 20K people on there right now. 100K people it started off with, bro, it lost 99% of the population. None of the other games lost 99% of their population. Storm Connections didn't even lose 99%, bro. So just let that sink in for a second. 99% of the people, well, I ain't gonna lie, Storm Connections might have. Storm Connections might have, bro. But it not that fast, though, at least. I know Storm 4 didn't lose that many people that fast. I know that. But I just wanted to share that with y'all right quick for anybody that, was hating on the Bleach game and just thinking that it was just some outlier and it didn't do the numbers it was supposed to do. The Bleach game overachieved. Based off what President Rose said, the Bleach game definitely overachieved. It did better than the last Naruto game they released. And that speak volumes, bro. Because we didn't, put it like this, I can understand people not playing Storm Connections now because it's trash. But on release, everybody should have bought that game. But they didn't. They didn't buy it. So we can't say that, bro. We can't, we got to give Bleach's credit where credit is due. It did what it was supposed to. It did better than what it was supposed to do. It overachieved. Now, let's get into the meat of this conversation. Like I said, Storm Connections was the first game, in my opinion, the anime game to really just disappoint everybody, bro. That game disappointed the world. It didn't come with you couldn't invite your friends. Ranked was terrible. Everybody was just doing exploits and using super armored Rasengans and Chidoris. That's all people was doing and people was spamming Minato's flying Raijin Rasengan, where he just teleport above your head and do this shit. Everybody was just spamming stuff, bro, and it was not fun at all. Right? I did end up hitting Ambu, but it wasn't fun with that process. Trust me when I tell you, if I could go back and do it again, I wouldn't. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just wanted to hit Ambu because I messed with the Ambu rank. Now, I will say one thing. Storm Connections has a much better ranked system than Sparking Zero. I will say that, right? I will say that. I think that it was, I don't know, I mean, it's kind of similar, but it's a lot more ranks. Like, you going through way more ranks on Storm Connections than you is on Sparking Zero. But to move on to the next game, which is Sparking Zero, the next game that disappointed us, Sparking Zero released after, and this is, mind you, right? Sparking Zero released after they patched everything out of Storm Connections. Like, they made it to where if you rage quit, you got penalized. They made it to where you could play with your friends. They basically fixed almost everything in Storm Connections. It was just too late, right? So, mind you, Bandai Namco is the same company that's producing Sparking Zero. Bandai produces all these games, bro. So, we move on to Sparking Zero. Sparking Zero came out with no rage quit penalty, all these different bugs in the game, no way to have a casual match. Like, you couldn't just quick queue up with anybody, bro. They did have it to where you could invite your friends, but you couldn't queue up with niggas, bro. Like, you couldn't just have a regular quick match that matched you up against people, because not everybody has friends that play Sparking Zero. Not everybody has people they can just invite all the time and play. Maybe they just want to play random people. You feel me? It's unacceptable not to have stuff like that in a video game, along with everything else that was wrong with Sparking Zero, right? If Sparking Zero wasn't as bad, and a lot of people like to be delusional and say Sparking Zero isn't as bad as people think, right? Let's put it like this. If Sparking Zero was as good as people think, it wouldn't have peaked at 100K on Steam, right? It peaked at higher numbers on PlayStation and Xbox, I'm sure. But on Steam, it wouldn't have peaked at 100K and lost 99% of the population that played the game. That shouldn't even be possible. No other game in history has done that. You do realize that, right? Sparking Zero had a historic fail. It failed historically. There has been no other video game in history that has ever peaked at 100. No multiplayer game that has peaked at 100,000 and lost 99% of them people. That shouldn't even be possible, bro. That's for anybody that think this game is some legendary all-time great dragon. It's not, bro. I'm sorry to tell you that. And I love Sparking Zero. And I love Storm Connections, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to keep it 100. So, like I said, Sparking Zero was the next iteration of video games to come out and literally fail in the same way that the last big anime game to come out failed. It failed in the same exact ways almost as Storm Connections did off release. It ain't gonna lie, but Sparking Zero had a lot more exploits though. It was a lot more broken to when it first came out. I must admit. I like as bad as Storm Connections was, Sparking Zero, bro, it was way more stuff in there, bro. Way more bugs. Way just crazy stuff, bro. Crazy stuff. Think about it, we still in the game right now and it's still bugs in there. If I go on Storm Connection, ain't no more bugs in that game, bro. We still got these bugs in Sparking Zero, man. But next, let's get to the Bleach game, bro. So with the Bleach game, everybody thought this Bleach game was gonna be just perfect. It was gonna be great. Even me personally, because in my head, I'm like, bro, they wouldn't release no other anime game and literally still have the same exact problems that they had in the last ones, right? No, the game still has the same problems, bro. Right? I will say I feel as though Storm Connection is probably, like, when it comes to lag and just how it feels online, it probably is the best game out of all of them. But Bleach, even without me playing it, I done heard from around the block, man, Bleach released without no ranked, right? It released with no ranked. It was way too laggy online. Like the PC release, bro, you couldn't even play online apparently, right? So that's two things right there, right? You can't invite your friends. If I'm not mistaken, you can't invite your friends in a normal way to no room. Like you can't, it's a weird way you got to do it. So off rip, they already are making the same exact mistakes that they've made in the past. It should be mandatory that every fighting anime game, every fighting game to come out should have a way to invite your friends that is easy. It should have a casual mode. It should have a ranked quick match mode. It should be a way to make rooms with multiple different people, like party rooms, and it should be a way just to make like a regular player match with your friends. Just like I was talking to somebody in my Discord about it earlier. Those things are like, for the online play, those things are mandatory. If you don't have one of them things, you're done. And if you have a rank, well, with the rank should come a rage quit penalty. That should be off rip with any fighting game / any anime fighting game. That's mandatory. Do you know how retarded it is to have a ranked system where you get points and lose points, but people can literally just bypass it by rage quitting? How dumb of a company can you be to release a game like that, bro? And how much dumber can you be to see that it messed up, that you made that mistake before and you make that same exact mistake again when you release the game? Stop releasing these games prematurely, bro. Don't nobody care, bro. I'm telling you right now, bro, I'd have waited a whole 2 more years for Sparking Zero. If it could have released in a better state with more stuff and not the crap that's in there, bro, I would have waited 2 more years, bro. I promise you. More. If it meant coming out better than like what it came out as, bro, I'm telling you, I'd have waited a long time, bro. Because now there's no coming back from this. If they release a Sparking 2 or whatever you want to call it, Tenkaichi 5, I'm telling you right now, that's not going to do numbers, bro. It's not going to do numbers. It's not going to do numbers, dog. Because now they done lost the trust of everybody, bro. They done lost the trust of everybody. Ain't nobody buying that, bro. I ain't gonna lie. The only anime game I can see that would actually do great right now is if they released Xenoverse 3. That's the only game I can see them releasing and they'll actually do good. I'm being honest with y'all, bro. And I know a lot of y'all gonna be like, oh well, Xenoverse has bro. I'm telling you right now, bro, if they release Xenoverse 3 in the next few years, bro, and they make the game actually look good graphically, you know, it don't even have to be to the degree of Sparking. It could be just like, oh, it look good, like, in between Sparking and, like, Xenoverse, bro. Like, it could be in between. It could be, like, Kakarot levels of graphics. Bro, if they do that, they give you more races, more stuff to do, bro, it's over with, bro. That game, that's gonna definitely do above them. That might do better than Sparking. That's the only way, bro. That's the only game. I mean, maybe another Shinobi Striker, but I don't even know what that. I don't even know about that. I do not think they will ever release another Shinobi Striker. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, bro. I feel as though Shinobi Striker is like the DC universe. Is the I think, what was the game called? I think the game was called DC Universe, bro. Or yeah, where you could like make your own DC character. I think Shinobi Striker is basically that for Naruto, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, they're never gonna release another one. They just gonna keep updating that. And it's like, I do think that with Xenoverse 2 as well, but I think they're gonna end up releasing another Xenoverse because I don't know. They done already teased it and said stuff about it, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, like I said, man, when it comes to anime real fighting games, like how these are supposed to be, Sparking Zero is supposed to be a real fighting game, not no Evo real fighting game, but it's supposed to it's supposed to make sense, bro. It's supposed to make sense when you playing. Certain bugs aren't supposed to be in there. It was supposed to come out in a much, much better state than it is in now. Bro, I can't even go online and play quick match on Spark and Zero. And like, bro, I'm telling you, I literally got on today and played, who did I play? I played Piccolo, because I'm going to post that tomorrow. I played Piccolo, dog. As I'm playing Piccolo, I probably ran into 1 or 2 people where my connection was straight and I could super counter. Everybody else, bro, I couldn't super counter against, dog. I couldn't super counter against. And it's ridiculous, bro. I know how to super counter. If I get on with AP right now on a player match, bro, me and him are going to probably have like a 10 straight super counter war. You feel me? Like, easily, though. Like, it's not even going to be, like, hard to do. But I get online and I play against these people on quick match and I can't do it. That's unacceptable. For a game that you have to be able to time stuff, that's unacceptable, bro. It's unacceptable, man. Like, I feel like the lag on Spark and Zero might be the worst. It's probably the worst simply, and it might not even be actually the worst out of all of them. I do think it's worse than Storm Connections regardless. Storm Connections has the best online, like, in terms of smoothness, in my opinion. But, like I said, Spark and Zero, when it comes to lag and delay, it becomes unplayable. I can still play Storm Connections if it's lagging. If it just so happens that I can still play it. I don't know about the Bleach game, but I can reckon that it's probably easier to play that while it's lagging a little bit than it is playing Spark and Zero. When you lagging on Spark and Zero, bro, you might as well put the stick down. You get put into a advantage where you're gonna get kicked around, bro. You're not gonna be able to do nothing about it. Somebody get behind you and start hitting you on Spark and Zero, and you're lagging, can't do nothing about it. Can't do nothing, bro. You know, at least pre-patch on Spark and Zero, you could just spam the super counter input and if you was lagging, you could get out of a combo that way, I guess. But I mean, you still gonna lose the Vanish War. So I mean, it don't matter either way. If I'm being real with you, bro, if I'm keeping it a whole being with you, it don't matter. But yeah, like I said, if I had to give these games a ranking, just these 3 games by themselves, I probably would say at 3. I ain't gonna lie, y'all not gonna like this, bro. At 3, I ain't gonna lie, I might say Bleach at 3 because I still think Spark and Zero is a better game than Bleach. You know, if I'm being honest. You know, and that might just me being biased. But I think Bleach, then it goes Spark, and then it goes Storm Connections. Out of all 3 of these games, I think Storm Connections actually is the best out of all 3 of these games, bro. At least the most playable. It's way more playable, bro. Like, I can get on Storm Connections now, and I can chill, bro. Like, I don't even, like, it don't even be nothing crazy, bro. Like, I can chill on Storm Connections. I can't chill on Spark and Zero. I can't play that game. It's just too frustrating, bro. It's too frustrating. It's not like that on Storm Connections. And I know on Bleach, if it's as laggy as y'all be claiming, I know that's unplayable too. So, I mean, Bleach and Spark and Zero, they probably interchangeable at this point. But that number 1 spot out of the last 3 major games that come out definitely going to go to Storm Connections. But, I mean, that's not really saying much, bro. They just did anime games a lot better back in the day. Like, somebody in my Discord was talking about how Storm 2 was the best, like, story of all time for anime games. I agree. And he was talking about how, like, that was the best, like, I think he was saying that might be the best Storm game. And somebody else in my Discord was like, nah, bro, it's Storm 4. And I agree, Storm 4 definitely was the best one. But, like, just think, bro, like, you really got to have that debate back then. You really had to have that debate. It should be no way possible that a new iteration of these games should come out today and be worse than the predecessor. That shouldn't be possible. I can understand maybe in one aspect, but in almost every aspect, it's worse than the last one. How is that possible? That shouldn't be possible, bro. And that's why I say, like, anime games right now is in a video games right now. Like, multiplayer video games are in a terrible state. Fuck anime. Multiplayer video games are in, like, probably the worst state they have ever been in history right now. And that's because they got AI generating the games. They not putting love into the game. Even when Storm Connection came out, it was already like people was coming out saying like that they didn't record voice lines for Storm Connections and it was AI that made the voice lines. You know how crazy that is, bro? These niggas are literally letting artificial intelligence create their video games, and it would not surprise me if they did the same thing with Spark and Zero. It wouldn't surprise me if they did some of the same thing. I do feel like there was a little more love put into Spark and Zero than Storm Connections, though, I must admit. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. But yeah, man, like I said, y'all let me know down in the comments what y'all think about this video. Y'all let me know, do y'all want some more Storm Connections content or just Storm content in general? Y'all let me know down in the comment section. I'm not getting a Bleach game. I'm letting you know right now. I'm not getting that game, bro. Next game I probably gonna be Street Fighter 6, bro. I'm not getting no Bleach game though. I can't lie to you. But yeah, like I said, y'all let me know down in the comments what y'all think about this video. I hope y'all enjoy this shit. I appreciate y'all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. And Don Coolio out, bruh.